So this is my dad. He's like, probably like 45, 48 years old right here. As a pastor, Cincy, my mom and him, they got a bit of an age gap. He was probably like 35 and she was like 24 or something like that. But back in like the 60s, back in the 20s, that didn't really matter as much. So my dad in Africa, he's always been a preacher man in Africa. He's always been a community leader. So he's always been somebody that has spread the gospel, spread the good word. This is him when he moved to London. So you try to pick him out of the crowd in here, right? You see a lot of people that don't necessarily look like him. It wasn't extremely popular for people that look like us in the UK to be successful and things like that. He moved to the UK when he was like 17 years old. He actually got his doctorate, right? So you can see his classmates in his doctoral program. Again, but wasn't really something that was really popular for a black person in 1969 to have a doctorate degree. That's one of the things that we're definitely very proud of. Ultimately, and this is my grandma, so she lived until she was like 98 or 99. So definitely long bloodlines. Her dad lived until he was 120 years old. So that's pretty unbelievable. Here's my parents, like they were in Africa, in like 2002 for a funeral. I was actually there as well. Rest in peace to my Uncle Jerry here. Here's your boy, right? So here's my sister, here's David, and then here's me looking away at the funeral of one of my family members back in Africa. So my dad just doing his thing, and again, here's a young me. I was trying to rock my Air Force Ones, my uncle, my dad, and then here's my Uncle Kingsley. That's my middle namesake right there. My dad's only like 5'9", 5'10", so I don't know where I'm as tall as him. I was like 11 or 12 years old here. I'm as tall as my 50-year-old dad. So yeah, that was Africa. So just a bunch of pictures, right? Like my dad looking like my brother here in his office in Cincinnati. Gosh, he looks just like my brother right here. Ridiculous. Here's my mom holding my sister. She looks like Tom, my daughter. Yeah, man. So that's kind of a little bit about the past and my dad being able to go from being in Africa until he was 17 years old. And the reason why he decided to leave Africa was because he was just like, it's too hot. He's like, it's too hot, man. I got to get up out of here, right? I'm going to go north, right? This is where a lot of the people that I see that end up making it successfully, they're able to transition to the UK, specifically London. So he went there. He went into ministry out there. He was in the Roman Catholic Church. He was on track to be a cardinal. That was one of the things that he was really focused and passionate about. When he moved to the UK, he spent 17 years there. That's where he got his bachelor's, his master's, and then his doctorate. And then he actually went into Canada. He was trying to get to the United States. So he moved to Canada for a year and then came down to Cincinnati after that. So he was able to get his residency in the United States. Thank God he did, because I couldn't have been anything other than American, I would imagine. But yeah, we can actually take you through, see where he's at right now. He's sleeping. What is he doing right there? So I think he's in there sleep, but you can see how he's set up in there. I'm his favorite kid, so he's got like a bunch of pictures of me and my immediate family in there. So that's amazing. So yeah, ultimately for us, like, we're just excited to have a place like this and have the support of, for me to have the support of my family. I'll take you upstairs, right? So it's a penthouse that we have. We're at the top floor of a pretty nice building in a nice area. And my team felt comfortable enough to come down here and come down and visit. It's a great time. We love the view. It's my brother. He's headed out for the day. Cool. So this is where my mom stays when she's down here. She spends most of her time in this room when she's down in Colombia. She also has a place in Santa Marta, which is on the coast up north. And so, she spends some of her time down there. So we'll take you out and see this view over here. Go ahead and get this open. So up here, pretty much panoramic views all around, right? 180-degree view of the whole city of Medellín. So this is one of the places where I fell in love. I definitely enjoy it. It's a home away from home down here. It's something that I feel very blessed to be able to come down here, and sun's beaming on my face, got the short sleeve shirt on and the shorts. I'm just chilling out here, and we get to enjoy this beautiful view. So life's pretty good. And this is ultimately what I really wanted for my dad, to be able to be in a place like this, have a great quality of life. There's a reason people move to Florida. It's because of the weather. this is how I want to see my dad living. This is what I want to see when I come back and visit him and spend time with him. I want him to see to be in a comfortable environment and to be well taken care of from the nurses, the staff, the people that are doing all the things that are helping him to preserve his life, for me to continue to have inspiration and be able to talk to him on a daily basis. And that's something that really means a lot. So I love it down here in Medellín. And he's got Parkinson's, right? He had it since 2004. It's 2024 now. So he's had it for 20 years. One of the things that ultimately the life expectancy ranges anywhere from like 1 year up to 20 plus years. We're fortunate he's on the longer end of it to continue to have the influence that he's been able to provide. With ATN, the actual profits that we're getting in terms of the ROI and things like that are allowing for me to be able to not only help and really support my parents and my family in this way, but also I get to come down here and enjoy it at any time that I really want to. And a part of passive income is being able to travel comfortably in a really great and comfortable way. So that's something for me that's really important to not only myself, also to a lot of my clients. So want to be able to show that that's actually happening in real life. So now what you'll be able to see is actually 2 videos that we were able to record down here. One of my mom, she's talking about her, as far as like her perspective of me being who I am and how I was raised and why I was able to really become the leader that I am today, but even as well being able to talk about the passive income that's really impacted and helped her. But then also there's another video as well that we'll talk a little bit more in detail about my dad, some of the reasons why passive income is so important for our family and exactly how it's impacting us. And if it didn't happen, if I wasn't able to discover this network and discover the opportunities that we do have in this network, that would be something that would change our lives for the worse. So now ATN has actually been able to help and change our lives for the better.